This is a public service announcement by Stacey Anshin.
When I came out as a lesbian, it was radical to be young, black, and a dyke. You wanted to live in resistance and it was sexy. And women weren't shaving. And we were like saying, fuck you, to the government. And you know, it was sexy.
But now these days it's becoming more sexy to be in the middle. You know, the kind that shave their armpits a little bit. You know, like, I am a dyke, but I kind of look like a straight girl.
Being queer has no bearing on race. My white publicist once said, true love is never affected by color. I curbed the flashes of me crashing across the table to knock his blonde skin from Manhattan to Montego Bay to bear witness to the bloody beatings of brown boys accused of the homosexual crime of buggery.
Amidst the newfangled fads and fallacies, the New Age claims the sexual, racial, and economic freedom has finally come for all. These underling form, self-congratulating, pseudo-intellectual utterances reflect how apolitical the left has become.
It is now commonplace to hear young activists say, I can't explain why, but the term lesbian comes across as confrontational. Why can't you just say yeah, gay people? Tongue and courage tied with fear. I am at once livid, ashamed, and paralyzed by the neoconservatism breeding malicious amongst us. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, ally, questioning, two-spirit, non-gender conforming.
Every year we add a fucking letter.
Yet, every day I become more and more afraid to say black or lesbian or woman. Every day under the pretense of unity I swallow something I should have said about the epidemic of AIDS in Africa, or the violence against teenage girls in East New York, or the mortality rate of young boys on the south side of Chicago. Even in friendly conversation I have to rein the urge to kill motherfuckers who say stupid shit to me all day. Bitter branches of things I cannot say out loud sprout deviant from my neck. Fuck you, you fucking sexist, racist turd. Fuck you for crying about homophobia while you exploit the desperation of undocumented immigrants who bathe your children and cook your dinner for less than what you and I spend on a tax-deductible lunch.
I want to scream out loud. All oppression is connected, you dick. At the heart of every radical action in history stood the dykes who were feminist, the anti-racist who were gay rights activists, the men who believed being vulnerable could only make them stronger.
As the violence against us increases, where are the LGBTQIA centers in those neighborhoods, where assaults occur most frequently?
As the tide of the Supreme Court changes, where are the marches to support a woman's right to abortion?
And what are we doing about health insurance for those who cannot afford it?
HIV/AIDS was once a reason for gay white men to act up. Now your indifference spells the death of straight black women and imprisoned Latino boys. Apparently, if the tragedy does not immediately impact you, you don't give a fuck. A revolution once pregnant with expectation flounders.
Apathetic individuals. No one knows where to vote or what to vote for anymore. The faces that now represent us start to look like the ones T-Hap used to burn crosses and beat bull daggers, and fuck faggots up the ass with loaded guns.
The companies that sponsor our events do not honor the way we live, or love, or dance, or pray. Progressive politicians dance around the issue of gay parenting, and the term marriage is still reserved for those unions sanctioned by a church-controlled state.
For all the landmarks we celebrate, we are still niggas and faggots and minstrel references for joke created on the funny page of white heterosexual world. The current LGBT manifesto, the current left manifesto, is a corporate agenda, and outside of that agenda a young boy dressed in drag is sucking on a dull dick for his dinner. A woman is beaten every 12 seconds. Every 2 minutes a girl is raped somewhere in America, and while we stand in here well-dressed and rejoicing, in India, in China, in South America, a small child cuts the cloth to construct you that new shirt, that new shoe, and old imperialism held upright by the misuse of impoverished lives.
Gather round, ye fags, dykes, trannies, and all those who are committed to radical social change. We are not simply at a crossroad. We are buried knee-deep in the quagmire of a battle for our very humanity.
The powers that have always been have already come for the Jew, the communist, and the terrorist. The time to act is now. Now. While there are still ways that we can still fight. Now, because the rights we have left are still very few. Now, because it is the right thing to do. Now, before we open that door to find that they have finally come for you.